Did we begin yet? Yes, we did. And let me just...
Now I should turn on push to talk.
Okay. Welcome back, everyone. Today, me and the gang are going to be discussing the new content released for the re-released Setsubun event. Say hello and reintroduce yourselves, everyone.
Hi, I am Irby. Hello.
Hello, I am Zapis. Hello.
Do you guys have to be so stilted every time we do this?
Yes.
Yes.
Alright, stilted as if you have a stick up your butts. You can find their content in their respective channels, listed in the description. So, let us just dive right in with Yaksha, which is a new low rarity transient obtainable as a reward for completing the re-released event's drop quests. Their weapon type differs between their different attributes, so I'll be talking about their attack before the weapon penalty is applied, rather than their actual damage per square. You guys can hear me, right? Not you guys, but like the chat. I did begin it, right? Yeah, that should be fine.
Yeah, it seems fine.
Okay, good. Well, yeah, there's not too much to talk about the Yaksha because they are a low rarity transient, so I will bring this to a close quickly. On move, they can apply oppression to enemies within slash plus thrust range at a respectable 90%. If you don't have anyone else who can oppress at this rate, or are restricting yourself to a smaller team cost, you can try using Yaksha with another unit that can inflict break to indefinitely hold enemies in place, while alternating between the two debuffs, oppression and break. The Yaksha also have respectable damage potential, with 11,000 attack on their regular attack combined with vigor and oppression advantage, before, of course, the weapon penalty is applied. And on their charge, they can apply 89,000 damage, since they all share the same blow range, presuming that they have maximum sacred artifact at level 100, which is possible because they are units that drop as a reward. Consider bringing other transients who can inflict oppression if you want to use their advantage against oppression without having to move them. So Zalgus gave the idea of using Daikaku earlier for myself, and he wanted me to emphasize that fact. So there you go, Daikaku is a choice. And you may also want to bring units such as regular Durga 4, Gendarme, Ikutushi 4, or regular Milsine 4. Yeah, those are all my thoughts on the Yaksha. Any other thoughts from you guys?
They made the farm quest terrible. I hate them.
By far the
It's
worst
very
experience I've had was drop quests in a while.
If you wanted a really budget option for holding people in place, you could just pair Yaksha with Devils, and there you go, you have, 16 cost, and you can hold someone in place forever.
Yeah, that'd be definitely a more reliable option than using someone like a Giant for break. And also it lasts longer, so you wouldn't have to worry about rerolling as often.
That's actually ridiculously reliable. It's like 90% on both units, isn't it? I forget if Devils are 90%.
It's 80%.
Yeah, it's 80.
Well, still pretty good.
I guess that's it for this unit.
Yeah, there's not much to say. They do benefit from the AR we will talk about a bit, so we can talk about that later, but yeah.
Okay. Then we will move on to the next unit. Irby, please go ahead and begin us off with the first ARs to be discussed. Right after you go next. There you go.
I assume it's the spirit of that AR.
Yes.
Oniwaka and Shuten. This is, in my opinion, probably the best AR that has ever existed and isn't Single Bulls Club.
Does everyone really like Single Bulls Club that much? I was like, everyone's in love with it because it turns on to Kasuga, but I just got casual. I was like, oh, I guess I can use it for food for me.
I mean, you can use it for pretty much anyone you like, and they'll become much more powerful because this is in a game filled with buffs. You're just going to be making that unit making that unit charge up their CS faster, regardless if they're all range or whatever the utility they have on their CS. It's just going to make them deal more damage. Unless you're using units that you don't want to CS, that's a pretty good AR for almost everyone.
It's okay.
I
Alright.
think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But this one is arguably possibly even better because it basically gives concentration at 100%. At 100%, exactly, at level 1 on phase start. That is ridiculous. Even the even the Volos and Alice AR only give glint at 80%. And
I think,
having
I think the Arc one also gives prayer at 80%. Isn't that right?
no, I think prayer is 100%, but it's only when appearing, so it's kind of it's non-renewable. This is a lot better, in my opinion, because you know, usually fights have a lot of phases, and 5 turns isn't enough for a full fight. And usually, these phase start concentration buffs are really good because ARs trigger before the rest, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
that is correct. They have like a separate sort of like a timing from the regular kit. It happens like in priority to the main kits. There's like another AR we discussed earlier that removes a debuff on move, and that makes it so that if you move a unit to a skill locked, I believe they would still activate those skills because the AR activates first and removes that debuff, and then the skills can roll after that. So
so it's really good for units that have phase start abilities because you're going to always get that 10% extra buff, 10% extra skill activation buff, which is really good. It's for free. The attack bonus doesn't matter because it's complete trash at level 1, but I guess if you max it, you get a free attack buff as well, which is also pretty neat.
Just be a whale.
Just be a whale and get a free attack buff on phase start, as well as the skill activation buff. But yeah, the restrictions are Oniwa can shoot, of course, and Valiant and Thrust units. And there's a lot of units that can benefit from this. Almost all of the units can benefit from this. Even those that have phase start concentration, like for instance, Faster. That has 80%.
Come on, we talked
Gosh,
about this.
whatever. It's the TV starred.
No.
Even he can benefit from this because he only gets 80%, and if you're going to use him for the partial debuff immunity, having 100% of that partial debuff removal ability is really good. Golden Burst, you can also benefit from this as well, even though he has concentration on his kit. It's still 50%, and this can really help with that debuff cleanse. But honestly, the unit I did want to talk about where this is AR is really good is Balor 4-star, which pretty much gives him an extra 10% chance to let him trigger his CS, and also give him a buff which also might trigger his weapon change CS, and it stacks with Lianan if you are using him with her, so it's perfect.
Yeah, I'm in full agreement with Irvi. In terms of its utility, it works particularly well with units with on-buff effects, like as he just said, Balor, because that just increases, like, I don't know what the term is, but increases every single proc rate by that 10%, and that effectively makes that single activation a lot more worth it. And another unit that also has on-buff effects that can equip it is also Kagutsuchi 4, so you can consider equipping it on him as well.
Yeah. I think pretty much almost every unit can benefit from this, to be honest. But those are the ones that can that can take the most of it.
Yeah, there's pretty much everyone will benefit from this, except Matsumi, but he can't equip it anyways. But
I was gonna make that joke.
Whatever. But everyone knows that Matsumi's 100%. But yeah, just because everyone can benefit from it doesn't mean that some people benefit from it more. So yeah, it's worth pointing out who can benefit from more. Another category of units that can benefit from it more is units with low activation rates, the abilities that are very desirable. So the crit category, which would apply to units like Alp4, because all his hit effects are like super low rate, even resolve range. And
Capacity 5 also a pretty good unit to use it on.
oh yeah, he has like paralysis or something at a low rate. And
Almost everything he has is low rate. It's like paralysis, stigma, and crit, and other shit.
I'm not sure if doesn't he already have concentration though as a crafter? I'm presuming.
It's only on CS, I think.
Oh, okay. So yeah, this would be good on Faceless. But yeah, there's a large category of low rate units. Just a couple more examples. Kenta 4, Valentine. Wait, can you equip this?
Use White Slash.
Kenta cannot equip it.
Why did you write this down? I'm a dumbass. Sometimes I write these things down without even thinking.
I mean, if you meant Kenta regular 4, I guess you can equip it, but
don't use Kenta regular 4. Both Zambanias would actually benefit from this too. Both Zambania 5s, that is. Because they both have a low activation rate attack up, which it's pretty important for him to act as a damage dealer. So consider breaking for that as well. And you might also want to consider using it with units that kind of function on phase start. To like if they only have 90% for a phase start ability, but you want it to be guaranteed, then this is a good card for it, concentration without having to see them. Like Avarga 4, for example, with phase start evasion. Anything else?
The only time I could say that you wouldn't want this is if you had a unit who actually wanted the attack from concentration. The other one I can think off the top of my head is Jamboree Mori, who gains concentration on move, and he actually wants that attack buff. So that's like the small edge case where you probably don't want this when they can reliably give themselves concentration and want the attack.
In a sense, it's kind of a balancing feature that they decided to make this guaranteed, as opposed to the Alice Volus AR, which is only 80%. Because I guess the balancing feature is you're not able to get a full level of concentration anymore.
Let's get AR 100.
But I think it's still pretty neat because I actually lost my train of thought. Oh right. Basically, glint is a lot more common, at least I think, than concentration. So I thought it was pretty weird that they added 100% for concentration and 80% for glint.
Well, they gotta give Valiant and Trust units a leg up because they are Valiant and Trust. You know how.
Bends.
I like how we didn't talk about the second part at all.
Remove CS stuff is there, but you can't equip it on Ifrit, so you're never gonna feel used.
I mean, if you're in a challenge quest where enemies inflict CS lock, I guess it can be useful, especially on Valor if you're trying to use a CS, because you really do not want to get CS locked on Valor if you're using him for the CS.
Yeah,
problem is CS lock doesn't really appear often. They've been using stuff like Darkness more often. So
yeah,
how does Darkness get more common than CS lock?
Test poker, I guess.
Well,
unfortunately, the units who can actually CS lock themselves cannot use this. It's like Ifrit, Christmas, Yasuyori, and Heracles 3 can't use it, so they can't negate their own CS lock. So that sucks.
It exists. If you ever see like these resistance abilities, of course they're useful when they are useful, but you're not gonna plan around until you see them. So yeah. I guess that covers our thoughts on that. I guess I can add one more thing. Note the HP stat. It is just a good stat booster if you decide to equip this on a tank of some kind, and you don't have any other ARs that can increase the HP by that much. Sorry.
It also helps on low base HP units that kind of need it a bit more if you're using for instance mobs as a reliable strategy or something for a mission now that we actually have missions and actual good reasons to use mobs, it can be useful to have a little bit of an extra edge on HP.
Yeah, that is true. It could be on like a wolf or an oni or any of the many other thrust mobs, and it would be good. Alright, let's not dawdle on. I think we have talked this to its full extent. So the next AR, Zal. Wait, Irby, sorry, my bad. Go ahead. Read the comments, if you will.
Apparently, Arc AR is not only when appearing, but also 80% at SA1. Oh, disgusting!
Good.
Disgusting!
I thought I was
trash.
I thought it was
complete trash. Disgusting! I hate it now.
Only one chance at it, and it can still fail for its entire gimmick.
Disgusting. Anyways, interesting AR for 4-star Shen, I guess. I haven't really looked into his kit, but it should be good.
I think Shen has that evasion on move for the first chance, but I don't think it's guaranteed either. So this is a really cheap way to ensure that.
Without the skill seeds.
Yeah.
Oh damn. SMH Beach Volos is about to come whap you with this newly AR concentrated melee. Well, I guess it can be good for Volos.
Yeah, he has crit, right, which is low rate as well. So
I think he has a lot of low rate shit as well. So
he does. Yeah.
It can be good on him. Getting CS locked back, AR on it will just remove, like if it just CS locked your units when you hit him.
Translate that if you will.
Yes, I remember that there was that one challenge quest that if you hit Ifrit, because it was a banned Ifrit, he CS locked your team.
Oh yeah.
Yes, CS lock on hit. I guess.
You know, an interesting thing about CS lock is with skill lock, if you get skill locked mid attack, right? Then subsequent units that unit hits while they're skill locked, they won't be able to activate their skills anymore, which makes sense, right? But with charge skill lock, when they get charge skill lock halfway through, subsequent units they hit, they'll still be able to activate their charge skill. So like remove the buff, for example, for Suki in this case, I believe. Yeah, it's I mean, in a sense that makes charge skill lock even worse and more pointless, to be honest. But at the same time, I kind of get why they did that. It's kind of a very specific niche case you'd want to use the charge lock for. Okay, anyways, moving on. Let us switch the card available. Alright, Zalgus, take it away.
It's the Daikoku AR, isn't it? Is it switched over yet?
Yes,
it's not on my screen. God damn it. Well, it's the other 5-star one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just talk about it without looking. Right, so the Takemaru and Otoshimi AR. This has a really nice effect where it makes on miss give 10 CP to all allies adjacent. It's got a pretty good base rate of 80%, and 10 CP per miss is pretty good. Pretty standard for a lot of CP barriers, actually. The biggest synergy this has immediately comes to mind is Daikoku, who is already a really powerful CP battery. At base, he gives 24 CP to a slash range in front of him. When he uses this AR, this allows him to give 34 CP to the guy in front of him, which is quite ridiculous. It also gives him a bit of support to left, right, down of him. But besides that, it also lets it. This AR can also be used with Takemaru 5, which is probably who it's intended for, considering he's on it, since Takemaru is designed to miss and also already gives out CP. He gives 16 CP to allies adjacent, and so he'll give 26 when he uses this AR, which is quite a lot. As for fire units, there aren't that many units who are designed around missing. It's pretty much only Itzamna and Kimun only when he CS's. Itzamna he's not designed to give out CP to allies, but he's going to be missing anyway. So if you have him, you may as well give it to him for the extra support. Kimun, when he CSs, becomes none and already gives out CP, same as Takamaru gives out 16 CP to adjacent. So he can equip that for 26 CP, which is also quite nice. So this is just really good for Daikoku. Is I'd say it's the best user of it since it's his main purpose, but you can totally use it on any of those 4. Other than that, it has the Oni Brethren ×2 multiply, which is not that useful because it's there aren't that many units with Oni Brethren. It's restricted to like Toji, Ibaraki, Shuten, I think the Oni mobs.
Yes.
But it's like a super small pool that is not really relevant. But so the CP part is the main draw.
Yeah, too bad it doesn't give you advantage against Yaksha, which is fuck the Yaksha and the job quest. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, if it did, it would be really useful, but I guess not. There's also another unit that I wanted to point out that could equip this AR, I guess, if you really want to use it this way. Ogres can also equip this AR.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. Since he will be missing if you move him.
Yeah, and he also bestows arousal on hits, so I guess if you really want him to serve that CP battery purpose, while he also provides defenses to the team, that can also be another use that you could give this AR to. Go on.
Okay. Yeah, I fully agree with that. And I don't use Orgus as much as I should since I do have him. But every time I do see people like Monkey use him, he turns out to be a pretty good unit. So yeah, use that to improve his CP functionality. There are also other units that aren't strictly units that are like CP batteries, but they're very likely to miss anyways. And because of that, I would say throw this card on them as well. Some of them I listed are Ikutoshi 4 and Taurus Mask 4, the Christmas variant, that is, because, with the Christmas variant and the Gendarme variant, forgot to list it down. But yeah, if you're going to be moving a lot to give out their buffs, and as a result, sometimes you'll be moving them like out of range from actually hitting enemies just to reposition your team. So it could be good in that sense. And another unit that ends up missing a lot and actually has a function to miss is Claude 5, his regular one. Because he has with his Evo ability to gain CP to self when he misses, and so that he can get his attack up faster and his charge. And if he's gonna be missing enemies, then you might as well give him an on-miss to allies as well.
There's also something really funny that I would like to mention. Is that even if this AR was intended for Takemaru, there is a potentially better AR for him, which allows him to bestow even more CP, which is the student sibling sparring, the one with Kagutsuchi and Ikutochi, that gives him combo, which makes him miss twice, which essentially makes him give out more CP, assuming the AR
at a larger range. Yeah.
Yes, pretty much.
So yeah, this is mostly just what's it called? Those things that you just signal to say, oh yeah, you're in this meant we give you an AR. Just the sign of good face, even though Takamaru would benefit from another AR a lot more. That's a 4-star.
Well, it depends, because this one is 80%, the other is 60, so it's kind of like, yeah, it's 20% more, but it's slightly less depending on your AR levels.
Get AR level 100 with this and slap it on your Daikoku 5.
Irby, just put up your Daikoku 5. That's all I'm asking.
I did put him up, but then I realized I could get a lot of FP with Takemaru with this AR on my support, so right now it's Takemaru.
Okay. Because I remember you putting up that gun and I was like, I don't use that gun though. But yeah, another unit that surprisingly Salgus didn't mention was Kimun, Kamui 4, which...
I did talk about that.
Did he?
I did talk about Kimun.
Okay, well, pretend he didn't say that, but he also didn't mention Firebrand, so you might want to equip him on Firebrand because he is also an on-miss CP buffer. A very strong CP buffer at that.
Oh yeah, Baron.
Oh yeah, not.
Completely forgot about him.
Yeah.
Just don't stick this on Mototsumi.
He can miss if he gets his blow range uncharged, but only his substitute range.
Use him as you use Drake on Furufumi's variant.
I'm sure you said a good amount there, Irby, and I'll pretend I heard all that.
Furufumi festival joke.
Oh, right. The clown on me. I was so excited to equip this on Furufumi, but then, of course, it was Google Translate translating Infernal into Magic. Where are my clan shoes? I need to put them on. Anyways, if you will, Zelgas, please read out the comments.
Okay, that AR is cute. Izamna may also give some more support with this AR. Yeah, Izamna can just equip it and it'll be nice for it to give out extra support. No reason not to put it on him if you have it. I thought I could use that AR on Melusine, but that may be a bad idea. What, this one? Isn't she snipe range?
No, she's
shot range.
She... I don't know.
She's fire on her variant, I guess.
Yeah.
No.
What?
Not super easy to miss with shot. I mean, it's not impossible either, so I guess it's an option.
TBH, it feels kind of whack to be a 5-star AR. I don't know, I feel like that CP effect is pretty strong.
Especially since you can equip it on like Goku. It's ridiculous.
Give up 34 CP on miss. It's like completely ridiculous. I was talking about August when FKRA music starts playing. Simp.
He knows.
No.
I can't even hear the music.
I'm not even watching this stream.
Wow. Variant Melusine using that AR. Melusine variant uses CP. I think it was 2 to 12% nearby units. I have no idea what Melusine's variant kit is besides oppression.
It's like weakness as well, maybe. For like
Takamaru.
a short range.
Yeah.
Good.
I know she has blessing to self turn start.
Damn. Takamaru is better with the Iku Kage AR already. This doesn't help that much. Doesn't mean you aren't an FKRA simp.
Well, Irby's not denying it, I'm sure.
Daikoku loves this, yeah. Put it on Daikoku if you have him. There you go.
Yeah, I guess that covers all the thoughts. It's also a decent HP boosting stat AR, so consider that if you have it, I guess.
Implying Daikoku doesn't crave that 100 attack.
I'm sure he'll be fine without it. Yeah, I guess that covers our thoughts for this AR. So Irby, you're up at the bed again. Please resume with the next 4-star AR.
I assume it's the Oniwaki Ibaraki.
That is correct.
Basically, what it does, it makes units deal 1.4 times damage to oppression, to enemies with oppression, and also has 50% chance to 100% chance, depending on the AR level, to apply oppression to the units hit and the enemies directly adjacent to them. So this sounds like a really good AR until you figure out the restrictions, which are just Oniwaka, Ibaraki, and blow units. However, since it's blow units, I mean, there are a lot of ways to get around that blow range with units like, for instance, Echo. If you really want to hold everyone in place, she does have fear, but equipping this on her would make it even more reliable because her fear rate is also only 50%. So if you really want to hold units in place, you can just slap that on her, let her change to all range, and then have fun with all range oppression to everyone, and that could be a potential strategy to be used. Other units that can benefit from this, well, I honestly don't know, to be honest. It's a free damage up to the units that can equip this.
What about
so that's
Alp 3?
Alp 3, wow.
I feel like we would keep on trying to recommend Alp because but it's like then it's like just use Echo instead.
Oh, I forgot about that. The one unit, Jiangshi Tetsuo. Because if you want to make him cause oppression all around him, since he changes to magic range, that can also be a strategy. You can also use them with Setsubun Oniwaka to provide additional support. Since he is long slash, it means he's going to have a chance to oppress two rows immediately. That's pretty good.
2 rows?
Yes, because if the rows are full,
Oh right, adjacent. Sorry. Yeah.
yeah, he can apply it to the units behind him. Likewise with Ibaraki 4, he can do it on a 3v3 range, assuming he hits 3 units on his column. So that's something to think about as well.
Thinking emoji.
Emoji.
Some other units that could be good with this AR are units that can bestow combo on self if you want to take advantage of like a combo penaltied hit. So that would apply to Jacob 5 as well as Pollux 4, his Christmas variant. And with that way you'll be able to actually take advantage of the oppression's advantage. Albeit, of course, it's going to be reduced damage anyway since it's combo attack. Besides that, you may also want to bring this AR on units that can already inflict oppression, because ignoring the fact that it can bestow oppression, it also gives advantage against oppression, and they are kind of divorced from each other because it's after attacking. So if you want to immediately benefit from oppression, you can bring units such as Omori Tigre 4, his regular version, or Fashionista Suzuka 4. And even something like Chernobog 3, who all inflict oppression on attack or on move, or some other condition like that where they can actually take advantage when they hit them.
You could also just, if you want just the damage buff, the 1.4 damage buff, you can just bring other units who inflict oppression reliably somehow. And example is Daikoku, who oppresses the entire map every 2 turns. So if you just want the 1.4 damage multiplier, you can totally just use this instead. Or use this, rather.
I guess this is the Daikaku banner.
Yes, it is.
Secret Daikoku banner.
And yeah, they still don't even have his 3. God damn it.
There's also Bale and Vanilla Melusine for inflicting oppression. I mean, they throw oppression at everything these days. There's even the Yaksha, which is what I was talking about. Yaksha like this. Well, I don't know if I'd say they like it, but they can totally work with it. Only the blow ones, though.
The one blow one.
The blow one. Well, it's the one that's going to deal the most damage, so I'll take advantage of all those.
Blow Yaksha, gonna give them the giant fist.
Which element is it?
I don't know.
It's wood.
Okay.
It's the one featured on the thumbnail. Alright. That was a complete coincidence, so if you will, please read out the comments, Irby, because I think that's all we have to talk about this. Besides the attack stat bonus, which is pretty good since it's all pulled there. So go ahead.
Yeah, Christmas Melusine has an interesting weakness range. I don't think it, unfortunately. I did remember glancing at it, but there was nothing memorable there except turn start blessing. that was funny. Yeah.
Nelson has turn start blessing. I don't even remember that.
Does she not? That's the only meme I remember. But it is very sad that she didn't get a skill evolution.
It's hilarious. She was like, I think I've been talking about her getting a skill evolution ever since she was released in the very beginning. She still didn't get one. But her regular did, of course, which was like still okay. Like not amazing by today's standard, but still like not Christmas Melusine tier. Ooh,
I don't understand the choices of skill evolution for less Christmas. Okay, sure.
Yeah, she does give turn start blessing at 40% rate.
40%?
Yes.
Yeah, to self and adjacent. Just 40%.
Okay, I guess.
So I guess you could. Never mind. I was going to say something stupid. Tetsuox and Echo may have some use, I guess. I mean, they have a lot of uses.
Yeah.
A lot of ARs work very well with those two units.
Yeah, Echo ends up being a huge meme because even though she's like okay-ish at best by herself, she actually really strongly benefits from a lot of ARs. Most what's called infamously the 5-star I gear Ben 10 one, which just gives the giant suck to everyone. But yeah, other ones as well. And the Tetsuox one is just Tetsuox is pretty much everywhere because like for some reason every single event features him on Radov.
I'm so glad I got him. So useful.
Yeah. I'm glad I finally got him too. I'll be a bit late, but still better, than never again. Yeah. Plus, he's a cutie. I like that socks.
I forgot to read this one. Using blow units on the air, punching the enemy, saying "Fear me." Yeah, 5-star Alp variant that does the same thing as Christmas Ryota and can equip Sun and Oil, but R can't summon him either. ASMR.
Wow.
God, I hope not, because I really like Christmas Ryota and I don't want to replace him ever. For the ones I've been using, at least from support, they're so good.
Yeah.
They're never gonna make another Christmas Ryota. I'm sorry, Yara.
No. God damn it! I'm still waiting for his reprint whenever that happens.
Some AR has a thing. It's text the his tech because I realized that it's
By the way, Irby, please speak closer to the mic or something. It's kind of.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
I guess what you meant with this is that some skill advantages or status advantages are both on the AR and on the units. Which, that
they
is
stack.
true.
Some people are running that one with AR's first release, but yeah, they do stack, so keep an eye out for that.
That is it.
Yeah, that is it for this. Let us move on to the final AR of this discussion. And we will be led by Zalgus, if you will.
My favorite.
You what, Abby?
I can't believe Irby is fading into the distance as Words That Have Wings is playing in the background.
It's I said it's one of my favorite ARs, okay?
Okay. I kind of heard that a bit, but... yeah, it's
What's your favorite AR?
The Bronze Sampling AR.
Yeah.
I actually didn't hear your opinion on this, so I'm surprised by it, but yeah. But unfortunately, we won't be hearing your opinion. We will be hearing Salkus' opinion. So,
Very important opinions. Alright. So this AR has QR. Now it has a pretty simple effect: Brawn Strengthening. Whenever you have Brawn, you gain a 1.5 times multiplier. This obviously stacks, so it essentially turns Brawn from a 2.3 times multiplier into 3.45 permanently, which is pretty nice. That's almost crit levels, just by having this AR equipped. Brawn is not too common in terms of bestowing Brawn to allies, but there are a decent amount of units who can equip this AR and have Brawn. I'll list a few, but I won't list all of them. All of the Lee Chosen Motosumis can use it, except Lee Cho 5, unfortunately. Ibaraki 3, Shuten 4 are some thrust units who can use it, and the only magic units who have Brawn is Ashigara 4 and Als 4. So there are some decent units who can reliably get Brawn just for the damage buff, and obviously they'll like it just because it's extra damage. The units who can bestow Brawn are really limited. It's just Wakan 3-5, all the Amatsumares, and Valen Kenta. So I guess if you use any of those, they'll go well with this AR to pair with someone who has this AR rather. The other part of this AR is pretty nice. It's curse resistance. Unfortunately, it has a base rate of 50%, but curse is a fairly common status effect, and it's almost always really high proc rate thanks to skills like Tailed Demon, which is 100% proc rate, and it's pretty debilitating since it cuts your damage in half. This is the only AR which offers curse immunity, so even if it's only 50% rate, that's better than nothing.
Seems like they're amply aware of how strong curse resistance is, because they gave it an abnormally low resistance rate of 50% only.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, it's pretty much just if you have Brawn somewhere in your team, just slap it in there, and it'll probably be useful. Or if you're fighting curse, just use it.
I was looking for this for so long because I really hate curse, and now it finally exists. Another thing to note is that even if it only does have 50% proc rate, you have to remember that status resistances are rerolled after every buff. So eventually, if your character gets a buff or something, it's going to be rerolled again, and it might be removed. So it's something to keep in mind.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah,
yes. That's how it works.
Irby was able to confirm it with when he did that meme with Slime and the burn resistance AR. Yeah, any sort of buff or debuff will activate status resistance abilities. Even though it says, when they're debuffed by that thing, it's not that. It's anything, and then they'll do the check if that buff is there, or debuff in this case.
That check is going to happen a lot of times. These status ARs are really good, no matter how much the percentage they are, because they're going to be rerolled anyways.
Oh, okay. Well, that changes my opinion a lot, actually, on stuff like this. I didn't realize it rerolled repeatedly.
Yeah, it does. It is especially it's really good. I used it quite a lot of times to meme around it.
Yep. So even ARs like the skill resistance, skill locking resistance ones, if they fail it, it'll be fine because it's an AR, and then you can just keep on rerolling those other buffs. So yeah, it's good. Actually, I guess that was all the remaining thoughts.
It's a pretty simple AR, but
I think it's pretty strong. There aren't a lot of brawn units, but those who do bestow them at a decent rate.
It turns out that a lot of the brawn units just play simply. Go hit stuff, destroy them. So yeah, if you're not a person who likes to think, just equip this on a unit that's brawn, and that's good enough.
Yeah, and the status position to curse is just the cherry on top, because hey, you get an attack buff and now are immune to an attack debuff. That's a good compliment. I think it's really good.
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes you don't need some super complicated function like Marduk or Echo, and then only get conditional use of them. Sometimes a basic ability like this is all you need. Alright, I think that's enough talking about this AR in terms of actually discussing it, but please go ahead, Zelgus, and see the feedback within the comments.
Okay. Leecher. It can be used in several units with this AR. Yeah, it actually has a surprisingly decent amount of units who can actually make use of it, since there are quite a few brawn units. I didn't mention this, but all Oni and all Wolfmen can use this, because if that's relevant to you. Rio to 3rd variant, period. I don't know if we'll get that. That'll be... The day we get 3rd variants, I have no idea when that'll be, but it'll be very silly.
I can't wait for Ryota's 3rd variant to be ridiculously overpowered again.
I'm sure the game will end before that happens, but okay.
Xmas Citri can use it, but that might not be a good idea. Yeah, I don't think Xmas Citri really benefits from this. I don't think he's a primary attacker. He's mainly for buff spreading. So, and he can't spread brawn strengthening, unfortunately.
Neat idea, but it is what's called an irremovable status, which means that just you can't really do anything with it in terms of status manipulation, like spreading it.
Well, I prefer 4th anniversary AR in Licho. Pair him with Durga, and you practically have that eternal 1.5 attack up instead of 4 turns only. Which one's the 4th anniversary AR?
It's the. Are they talking about the Gunso one?
French. It's the friendship bonus one, I
Oh,
think.
yeah, that is
I-
one.
I don't remember what effect that has, besides the FP up.
It's also friendship bonus, which makes it
Oh,
like
that,
It's one-
right.
Friendship bonus.
go for the lore buffs.
Remove curse from the light of your body. I got that one today, and hello. Now Macan 5 can have both guts and brawn strengthening, eh? That doesn't mean I'll use him.
Mach-On 5 is pretty strong to use nowadays with at least with one category of quests, the survive X amount of turns one, which they conspicuously haven't really released ever since the first one they released. Probably because everyone just cheesed it with guts of some kind. But yeah.
Those quests are too easy to cheese.
Well, let me see my horse and beast. Well, I'm sure they can find a way to make it challenging again somehow. Okay.
Let's make guts block.
Oh, make a quest where you have to defeat everyone in X amount of turns, and otherwise you instantly lose. Something like that. I don't know.
Well, then that turns into just use all range.
I don't know. Or maybe don't defeat everyone in the first 6 turns. Sorry about it. I'm not sure how it works. That's LifeWonders' job, not mine.
I mean, they can use the does not take damage buff that they've leveraged a few times.
True. Anyway, this isn't the stream for speculating about how quests work. That is the last of the content we will be discussing today. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today for this discussion. It's been a while since we did our last one, so it's nice to get back to doing it again. Any final thoughts on this reprint event overall? Banners or gameplay or otherwise?
It's too long.
Yeah, it's a bit too long. The AR is great, but the farming is not.
The farm quests suck, and this lasts 3 weeks, possibly an extra 5 days after that, depending on how soon they want to begin the next event. So, yeah, not fun.
It's probably not getting delayed, but I'm not going to say that.
Wasn't like the original Setsubun event only 2 weeks long? They made this one even
was.
What the actual heck?
It's longer because we have Yakshas to farm now, I guess.
At least give us a decent drop rate. Like seriously, they made all the drop boosting ARs absolutely new. You can't use any existing ones, so it's. I only have like a 160% bonus, and I'll be suffering through that for the next few weeks. So, LifeWonders for real. Why?
Didn't you have a video called AR drop bonus was a mistake?
yeah. Well, we're in a new grant here, okay, where we're given seeds left and right. We need more the coin. Seriously, they still haven't released any kind of coin compensation for the absurd amount of seeds they've been giving out lately.
No, didn't you see Yara? They gave us seed dungeons. That's our compensation.
Well, I know you're salty because it wasn't coin dungeons, but I still ended up using the seed dungeons. And hey, my genes attack 1000 now, so that's pretty good. Give me a second.
You seeded Gene?
Yeah, 4.
Gotta get that maximum dungeon efficiency.
Yeah, for sure. I'm considering seeing my mentors, and Gene is a good start for at least immediately clearing the front door and all that. You don't need to know details. But yeah, my thoughts on this event, I'm in full agreement. Way too long. And besides, probably next week we'll play through the story. For this game, I'll probably just be asleep most of the time or something. Oh well. Oh yeah, there's challenge quests too, but we'll just have to wait for that. See how it turns out.
At least the AR are very strong this time around.
Yeah, still not pulling it. Even though like you guys seem to love this banner, it's like for me personally, it doesn't benefit Kotaro really in it, so it's whatever.
Of course.
I mean, you could. No, maybe not. I was going to say something about the CP one, but that means you can't use Leonan.
Yeah.
You can equip the Honor Miss one on Kotaru 5. The strats.
Yeah, time to use Kotaro 5. Anyway, again, thank you for joining us. You can find Irby's channels as well as Zog's channel, which has are full of Housamo challenge clear content, as well as sometimes other content, I believe. And linked in the description below. That's where the channels are. Take a good look. I will see you guys around whenever I feel like making another stream or video. And that is it. Alright, on 3, everyone. 1, 2, 2. I can hear my own voice through your saying Sakus.
Sorry. Hang on, let me turn that down.
Okay.
Go ahead.
1, 2, 3.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, good stream, everyone.